News overnight. Hurricane season doesn't start for 2 weeks, but now we have the first named storm of the season. It is Tropical Storm Alberto, and it's now looming off the Carolina coast. So how bad will this thing be, and is it a sign of things to come? Let's get it over to our meteorologist, who we discussed just moments ago, Ginger Z. Hey, Ginger, good morning.
Good morning, Dan, and good morning, everyone. That Alberto tropical storm, here's what's significant about it. It shouldn't become a hurricane, but the impact will be high surf, some gusty winds, and just overall kind of gray. And the whole deal, it's early, way too early. We haven't seen a tropical storm this early since 2003. That's when we had Anna back in April of 2003. There's the waves, 2 to 3 foot was of yesterday, but today the advisory includes 6 to 9 foot wave precautions. So this is what's going to happen. It's right here. It doesn't look all that significant, but it kind of does this weird backtrack, goes west-southwest, then starts to go up to the northeast. Can you believe I'm showing this type of track already? It's way early. It should stay offshore and not become a hurricane. Still, much too early as we look at the Gulf temperatures still above average. I have more coming up on that severe weather in my next weathercast. Back to both of you. Thank you, Ginger, to both of you, and good morning, everyone. A really active day severe weather-wise. We showed you a little bit earlier, show you this tornado video again. This is from Harper, Kansas, about 50 miles southwest of Wichita, and you're looking at some debris flying. A very fortunate thing. This happened in a rural area, so no one was injured or killed. But we did have more than 200 reports overall. As I show you this tornado video again, this is from Harper, Kansas, about 50 miles southwest of Wichita, and you're looking at some debris flying. A very fortunate thing. This happened in a rural area, so no one was injured or killed. But we did have more than 200 reports overall. As I said, 25 of those tornado reports. A lot of times those aren't filtered, and you'll end up only having 2-3 tornadoes. They were reported many times. But look at all the wind and hail, too. We're going to have another severe weather day. This is the area that needs to be alert today, from Green Bay through Chicago into parts of northwest Indiana. So all included in there. Oh, and then there's this, the annual solar eclipse. So the moon goes over the sun, and who gets to see it? Great weather, and it's for anywhere in Flagstaff up to parts of eastern, northern California, because it's going to be a little bit cloudy at the coast there. That's the big picture. Let's get a check a little closer to home. Thanks, Ginger. Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Amy Freeze here with the AccuWeather forecast. Weather did start to help fire conditions back in the southwest. Coming up in my next weathercast, we'll talk about the warmth, the wind, and the dry coming back, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ginger.
The beacon of light over here. Always.
Always. We do have news this morning of Congress taking...
On American Idol, TMZ reports that his owner turned down Idol because the talented dog is too busy to be famous. Gotta love TMZ. By the way, I should say, sometimes on live television we say dumb things. Yesterday I made a sort of lame offhand comment about TMZ. Big apologies to them. We love those guys. I put markers.
Well, you've been great on this broadcast, we should say.
Well, thank you.
Let's get it over to Ginger Z once again. Hey, Ginger, good morning.
Good morning to both of you, and good morning, everyone. I showed you a tornado earlier. Now let's see a gust-nado from Nebraska, Lawrence, Nebraska, that is. So this forms differently than a tornado. It is a low-lying feature, still thunderstorm-oriented, but it's a downdraft that causes this. So there's the picture there. I want to show you the rain that will be associated with all the thunderstorms today. Tulsa, you're in for some significant rain, if not some flooding. Green Bay, down to Chicago, and another little bit off into the east. So tonight, the beautiful weekend that we have had is going to come to an end. Real quick, dry and hot coming back into the southwest. That's the big picture. Let's get a check a little closer to home. Meteorologist by Simmons Beauty Rest. Paula?
Okay, Ginger, you are up in the ante on all these extreme things, aren't you?
You guys have to come along.
No. You didn't realize that we were lame a long time ago? We're fearful. You're fearless.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, well... Welcome back, everybody. And as a fellow Michigander, Ginger's also from Michigan. Both of us got caught in rip currents in Lake Michigan, so fascinated by this next story you're about to do.
And as a child and growing up there, it happens all the time. So in the summer and spring, especially in the Great Lakes and also in the oceans, it's something that I've covered for years. But this time I went inside the rip current myself in the ocean, and here's what I learned.
It's one of the ocean's most deadly threats. More deadly than lightning, hurricanes, and tornadoes combined in an average year. It is a rip current.
It's kind of like a river pulling out to sea.
The strongest swimmer does not match up to the power of the ocean.
That power forms as water piles up close to the shore. Then there's a break in the sandbar or bottom, and a fast-moving river rushes back out to sea. So my natural inclination, get in one.
All right, so this is it. I am suiting up. It's funny because I haven't had a wetsuit on in I don't know how long. But let me grab this. I feel like the Avengers, a superhero. Not quite.
One arm up, and that's where the guards come in. They have me on the board and onto the beach in no time. Look at these rip currents from above. They can pop up anywhere along the beach, but what you need to know, they always form near piers and jetties. The future and a pleasant swim in the ocean will be just that.
Good morning, America! Taking on a lot of water there. Here's what you need to know to stay alive if you get caught in a rip current. This is very important as we go into this season. Number one, you have to stay relaxed. Next, this animation shows it. Rip currents are not that wide, so if you swim parallel to the beach, you will likely get away from that river of fast-moving water, and then you can get back to where you came from. You just don't have to go straight back. So there's all of these tips, but they said, number one, if you have a lifeguarded beach versus a non-lifeguarded beach, you got to do that.
Great tips. Great
tips,
piece.
Ginger.
Thank you, Ginger.
Glad you're okay.
Sometime we'll come up with an assignment that you'll say no to at some point.
I don't think that's going to happen
Probably
for a long
not.
time.
Coming up here on the broadcast, a dog.
Beautiful. The other thing that we do a lot of times is get asked to do charity things or whatever it is, well, or maybe a first pitch. First pitch can go one of two ways. This Korean pop star at a Korean baseball game. Would you ever take a look? She was a blue chip. Let's find out. I mean, you can't. I would never even attempt to do it.
You know,
all about the relief.
it wouldn't have been that bad if the wind-up hadn't been so All right, it will shock all of you that this week I have animal videos to show. It's a rare thing. Take a look at this dog. This is Max. He's from the UK, and he found a rake, which is a big deal. You can see how enthusiastic he is because of his tail wagging. Problem? How do you bring it down?
When a sheep gets angry, or can happen to you. But I'm sure he had a reason for revenge there.
There's so many ways the segment could go wrong from here. Let me just say, if you have an idea for fixation, hit me on Twitter at Dan B. Harris, and we'll be right back. No sheep jokes.
Can we just hit you or hit you on Twitter?
Yes, you can hit me on Twitter or like